Hey guys, this is Adam with Mods for Quads. Today we're talking about bowel health and just a few things that can help with digestion and elimination. For Module 1, we're talking about exercises for digestion and elimination. And so there's a few fundamental things that really help that would be worth keeping in mind. And they can be done lying down, standing up, sitting down, and usually first thing in the morning, before you have your bowel program, if you do it in the morning, stretching is always a great thing to do first thing in the morning for a lot of reasons, but it definitely helps with your digestion and your elimination, especially if you're going to be doing your bowel program right after you get up. So stretching in lying in bed, or if you're able to transfer yourself to a mat easily and doing it there, whatever your preference is. A few stretches you can do are anything that twists your trunk, getting your knees to your chest, and laying out fully supine, stretched out all the way on your back. All those will help with stimulating your digestion and your elimination. If you're able to do those on your own, or if you have the assistance that you need to do those. As far as exercises, obviously any abdominal exercises are going to help with elimination and digestion for blood flow and for relieving muscle tension in those areas. Torsional trunk exercises will definitely get things moving if you're able to do those. With standing, and the torsional trunk exercises, torsional being twisting your trunk actively with muscle activation if you're able to do that. For standing or walking, any kind of standing is going to help with digestion and elimination, whether it's through a standing frame to get weight bearing and get stretched out, or whether you have access to something that emulates your lower body, if you're not able to do it on your own, like an exoskeleton, which aren't very easy to come by, but if you have access to one, that's a wonderful way for you to maximize your blood circulation, your digestion, your elimination, but also for even your internal organs to align themselves the way they properly do, which they don't necessarily do when you're seated all the time. So that helps a lot. And then if you have access to a vibrating plate, especially alternating vibration while standing, there's a lot of benefits to that we could talk about later, but huge benefits for digestion and elimination there while standing. If those aren't an option while you're seated, you can also use a vibrating plate to stimulate your feet and your legs, and that invariably makes its way up through your body and can relieve a lot of tension up throughout your trunk. Also seated, if you're able to ambulate, whether someone is moving your legs, you have something that moves your legs, or like an FES bike, getting muscle contracture, an FES bike being a functional electric stimulation bike, whether you have muscle contractures or other stiffness, the FES bike through muscle activation and ambulation really helps with blood circulation and keeping everything moving. Also, there's something called a SciFit, an SCI Fit machine that you can put your feet on And by moving your arms back and forth, it also moves your legs at the same time. So you get all 4 limbs moving at the same time. And there's a lot of torsional activity in your trunk if you're able to activate those muscles. If not, you still get a lot of torsional motion through your trunk by doing that. And that's mainly it for the main exercises for digestion. Next time we will be talking about.
Are you going to talk about spasm?
I didn't know what to say because it doesn't really. I don't know how to tie spasms into.
Just as far as if you're exercising and you go in, like, remember to protect your joints and try to relax.
I don't know how to relate spasms to going to the bathroom.
Okay.
Even though I didn't really end the video.
Go ahead and just go from here and end it, and I'll try to cut this out. Just pick back up with the FES bike. And then, like, put your hand on your hat for a sec so I know what to look for in the video.
What's that?
In the frame, just touch your hat so I know to look for that so that I can cut it out.
Okay. Where do you want me to start back?
Just the FES bike. If you can do your exercises seated using a FES bike.
Hold on, look at this real quick. Hello?
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 Hey, it's Ananda.
Hi.
Are you done? Are you done?
I will be in just a couple minutes, yeah.
Okay. Mom wants to know if you wanted to pick her up.
She could come in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You need to get going.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
so I still have it running, so just.
All right, so I'll say in addition to the vibrating plate, start from there.
Okay.
And then, not sure what to say about spasms.
We can address it another time. But I have it up there.
Oh, it is?
I just say, hey, and just lastly, keep in mind, one thing that I've learned over the years is that I really have to try to relax when I'm doing it and be mindful of my joints so that I don't stress something to the point of popping it or taking it past its resistance level. And if you start to spasm, just try to, in your brain, relax and don't over stretch anything at that point or something.
It's hard to bring it into the context of what we're talking about. It doesn't totally fit with the other.
Okay, well then just say, and lastly, spasm is mentioned on here at the end, and we're going to talk about it later, but I just wanted to remind you guys that when we spasm, everything seizes up, including our intestines. So just while you're exercising, try to relax. When you're stretching, try to relax. Just try to keep in mind to not push it too hard. Did that help?
Only a little bit.
Seems like it's one of those things where I mentioned spasm because I don't want you guys to get alarmed when you go into it. Just remember that your brain does have a lot to do with it, and if you relax during this whole process, you'll eliminate faster.
Now that we've cut the camera, we can like erase it and it'll just disappear in the video.
We could.
It's like. Hey Misa, were you dropping the Kong and making noise during the video?
Why don't you try to be funny and say, and I know spasms are exercise, but in this context, you just want to try to protect yourself and be mindful of relaxing.
You ready to go? Good catch. Okay.
Just start all over with number 4. Or number 5.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are you still rolling?
Yeah, just don't say a number though. Just go and
Right.
you know, seated because I think the numbers are off.
Okay. So the camera's going already?
Yeah, it's already
All
going.
right, so I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
So seated, if you have access to a vibration plate, it really helps get the vibration up through your lower body into your trunk if you're not able to do that while standing. And there are other, what else can you do seated? Anything that ambulates your lower body, whether it's someone helping you do it or there's some little bicycle pedal devices that you can use, that someone can help you move your legs. Or if you have access to a FES bike, a functional electrical stimulation bike, then you get the ambulation with the muscle input from your legs and your glutes, and that, of course, is activating muscles really close to your trunk, and invariably affects your trunk and blood circulation and keeping everything moving. Also, there's a machine called a SciFit and SCI Fit that's kind of like a seated cross-country bike, if you will, that you put your feet on and your hands, and you get all 4 limbs going at the same time, and that can really help with your trunk, whether it's just through the movement or whether you're getting some activation to play in there. And I have spasms here on the board as well, just because a lot of times when we're stretching or when we're exercising, spasticity comes into play, and it's easy to have that reaction against spasms to kind of fight back against them. But I want to remind everyone that whether you're stretching or exercising or really doing anything and spasticity comes into play, the best thing you can do is to relax your mind and to focus on relaxation and to not fight the spasticity and kind of calm your way out of it, because it's bringing in more tension into your body and making you tighten up more and more, and typically that's what we want to avoid, is tightening up, because we don't loosen up very easily. So I do have spasms on there for that reason. So through stretching and exercising, we can break those cycles of spasticity, which also keeps our body loose and maximizes our ability to keep up with our digestion and our elimination cycle, so that we can keep a regular schedule and do the things that we needed to do without feeling hindered by them. Talk to you next time.